Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Katelyn, and the much awaited part 3 of the 20 style challenge is what we're working on today. I know you guys have been asking for it, and there's been a lot of feedback and a lot of different styles to choose from. So for this episode, I thought it'd be kind of fun to just do all video game art styles. I know there was a couple that were suggested in a few previous videos, so I kind of just picked and choose which ones had very distinctive styles. And I basically picked, I guess, my favorite and most iconic game styles that I can think of. I really wanted different games that had a very unique look and feel, and it's a little bit harder with certain titles. Like, I love Assassin's Creed, and I think Mass Effect is cool, and a couple of different games are really great games, but the problem is they're mostly like realism, which isn't bad, it's just they don't have a really distinctive art and look and just a style to them. What usually gives those type of games away are the clothing that the characters wear, or just like little key hints to the character design that makes it apparent what game they're from. So I was trying to pick games that had very distinctive looks. So if you looked at like the first one that we started the episode with was the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Of all the Legend of Zelda games, I think that one has the most distinct style, just because of how it's drawn and rendered. Like, all the concept work, along with the 3D models, all had a very distinct look. And honestly, when I showed this to a couple of my friends, everyone instantly knew Wind Waker, just because it's a very iconic game and it has a very distinct and unique look. So that's what I was kind of going for with all of these different styles. And honestly, I haven't played all of these games. A lot of them are on my to-dos. It's really hard to keep up with video games. I used to play a ton of games when I was younger. I actually didn't have a console. I mostly did PC gaming, and then I did have my Game Boy Color and then Game Boy Advance and eventually the DS. So it was mostly just handheld and PC games. So I did play a lot. It's just now that I'm working 40 hours a week and then doing the YouTube thing on the side and a bunch of other stuff, you know, you run out of time. So now I have to be very, I guess, picky with my games. Recently I did a huge binge of the new Tomb Raider game, and I freaking love Tomb Raider games. And I was like, I need to eventually play this, but it was my reward. After doing X amount of videos and X amount of work, I'll go and binge a game for a couple of days, and it was a lot of fun. But, you know, since I have so many projects that I'm constantly balancing, I always have to pick, like, I am dedicating my time to this game and this game alone. It's kind of hard to juggle a couple here and there. And sadly, because of that, I'm behind on so many games. Like, I really want to beat and do all the Mass Effect games. I haven't had time for that. Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, and I've barely touched that, which is really disappointing. I really should pick that up again. I really want to catch up on all the Phoenix Wright games because I love those games so much. And a long time ago, I was playing Apollo Justice, and I never beat it because I think my game had a bug. Because I went through a specific part, and I did literally what a guide said to make sure that I was doing it right, and it wouldn't let me proceed. Like, I ended up giving up on that, and I didn't go back to any games until recently, so I need to catch up on those. And then a bunch of games that are in this series I need to play, like in this episode. I need to eventually play those, and there's just too many. There's too many games nowadays. It's just, there's a lot of different studios, and they're constantly like releasing yearly games. Like the Assassin's Creed franchise I love, but it's so hard to keep up because it's like almost a game a year. And I mean, a year is a long time to play a game, but when there's a billion other games at the same time, man, it is hard to keep up and really pick and choose. But I should probably go back and actually talk about this piece in general. I actually had a lot of fun doing this 20 style challenge. There were a couple styles that were really tough. Like right now I'm wrapping up the Wolf Among Us. That one was really hard. I love the cell shading look and the harsh lines that they use for like creases in clothing and different like parts of the body. But since it's basically realism, it was really hard for me to do because I'm not the best at realism. But the next one, which I'm working on now, the Paper Mario one, I think that's my favorite from this specific 20 style challenge. It was just so cute and it was a lot of fun. It was a little hard to figure out my hair. I just kind of went for a poofy with slight curls type of thing, but I loved how it looked. It's so cute. So that one I think is my favorite for sure. The Wolf Among Us was super hard for me, at least because it's realism. And I'm trying to think what else I had struggles with. I don't remember. And then certain ones, like I'm getting to the Little Big Planet one. It was hard because there are characters and you can customize them in the game, but I really want to make sure that you know where I'm drawing the character from. Like the logo in the corner helps, but it should be pretty distinguishable. And if I remember, I haven't played Little Big Planet forever, but I think if I remember correctly, the main character you can customize. So that's what I was going for, is you use the main character base and you would customize it. And I'm like, oh, it'd be so cute to have like yarn hair, because then it looks like a sewn on thing. And that's basically what I was going for. And I love my friend Chad was like, yeah, it's like so-and-so with just a bunch of hair on top. I'm like, yeah, I know, that one's a little accurate. That's totally fair. But I tried to really make a character that would look like they would fit in the different universes and different worlds and different games, like be an additional background character or just somewhere in the game. I was trying to go for a similar look and feel. So to go with that, in my previous 20 style challenges, I usually didn't add specific clothing. It was just my orange shirt and just my head, basically, and that's all I would do. But for this one, since a lot of the video game styles kind of depend on the clothing, I had to include them. So like later on, one of them was Shovel Knight, and I could have drawn myself in a similar fashion, but it wouldn't be Shovel Knight without me looking like a knight. So I added the whole appearance, like helmet with horns and armor. So that one was more obvious that it was Shovel Knight. And then other ones like Animal Crossing and Okami, those ones I had to give either extra additional clothing or change myself into an animal, or for Okami, the one I'm working on now, I had to give myself a watercolor, water brush type of look, or else it wouldn't really be believable that it is from Okami. So throughout this one, you're gonna see a lot of different, I guess, additions to my character in different versions, just because I had to add clothing or, I guess, key elements to show that they're from a specific universe or world or game. So I actually have a lot of fun with these 20 style challenges, but man, they take a really long time. That's why I kind of have to space them out, because typically, I don't know, it can range depending on how hard the styles are. But typically creating a whole 20 style challenge takes anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. It just takes a ridiculous long time because it's a combination of figuring out all the styles you want and making a full list, and then going through and looking through existing characters from those worlds and kind of picking up what characteristics make that world so distinguishable. And oh man, like for example, this Kingdom Hearts one, I'm like, all right, well, everyone has spiky hair. I have curly hair, but I guess I gotta make myself with curly spiky hair, if that makes sense. So it's like those little things you gotta find in different styles that really set them apart. So you guys are just gonna have to bear with me for future 20 style challenges, because I have a lot of ideas and a lot of paintings and other things I want to get to. And the 20 style challenges are fun. They just take so much time to like brainstorm and figure out all the different styles and to paint it and then to edit, find all the logos. They're actually one of my most time consuming videos. A lot of my other ones are pretty quick just because I draw it, I record it, I edit it almost all on the same day. And I just really would like to have more time for fully rendered, dedicated pieces. But yeah, if you guys have any other suggestions for more styles, I'll probably do for sure one more for like animated cartoon styles or something similar, or maybe just a general style challenge that isn't just for animated cartoons. It's just a lot of different styles. So I think I have one more for sure I will do, and I know a lot of you are gonna say Tim Burton. I have so many of those, so don't worry, Tim Burton's on the list. It's just that will probably be in the next one. But I think I'll do one more for sure, and then I might just put them on pause for a bit, just because that's a lot of styles. That means I've done 80 styles. That's a crap ton of shows and games and things. So I would need time to find more and brainstorm, and I think I'm just gonna put them on pause so I can dedicate more time to more rendered pieces. Especially with Phoenix Comic-Con coming up. It's a couple months out, but typically my fully painted prints take, I don't know, a week to 2 weeks on and off, just because working full time and then only having a couple hours when I get home every day, it just takes a long time to spread stuff out and figure out the time for that. So with that coming up, I'm going to have to kind of shift gears and start working on those a lot and getting all that ready. Okay, well, I should actually get back to the piece. So there, yeah, like I said, there's a couple games on here that I haven't played. My buddy Chad is trying to get me into Animal Crossing, and I think it's adorable and it looks like a game that's right up my alley, but like I've told him in the past, there's so many games that I purposefully avoid because I know I'll get addicted. Like any type of those home village building games or, you know, build your room type of games, man, I go nuts with those. Like I have the, I'll totally admit, I have the PewDiePie YouTuber simulator on my phone, and oh my gosh, but that's like my favorite just filling the time game. And it's so, like, I guess you could say useless, but it's fun just to like deck out the room with different accessories and things, and oh, it's bad. I play it like every day. But yeah, I usually have to be pretty careful with starting a game or picking up a new one, just because I basically get so invested in a game every time that I just want to dedicate all my time to it. And with so much art and other things that I'm producing, I gotta, you know, set some priorities and be like, all right, I can't play the games. I can't play video games. I just gotta keep working, gotta keep chugging. So a lot of these on here, like Guacamelee, and I actually haven't played Okami. I've never tried Minecraft, I'll totally admit it. I think some of you are going to be kind of mad at me for that one, but that's another building one that I'll just sink hours into, so I have to purposefully avoid Minecraft. There's so many on here that I love the style, and I've been fond of it for so long that I was like, you know, I'm gonna just add it to the list, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to draw, and that's what a lot of these were. And they're all on my list of games to play. I just have the never-ending list, and it's always growing because every year new games are released, and then on top of it I have like new anime that I continue to watch, and it's, God, you guys, adulting is hard. Adulting is so hard to figure out how to balance everything. And I'm sorry if this video became like somewhat, I don't think it became really a rant, but it basically was like me complaining about not having time, so I'm sorry. But that's always the hardest thing, is trying to make time for all these things. But yeah, overall, I really liked how all of these turned out. Some of them were a little bit more simple than others. Obviously, like Kirby was a little bit easier. And I had a lot of fun with other ones like the Paper Mario. Like I said, I loved how that one turned out. And it was really fun also drawing me as a sheep from Animal Crossing. I actually talked to my buddy Chad about that, like what animals we would be in Animal Crossing. And oh my gosh, like a sheep fits so well just because of my curly poofy hair. It's perfect. And I'm trying to think what else I had fun drawing. The Guacamelee one I also really loved. I based my design off of like Quetzalcoatl and adding that to my outfit because I'm a nerd and I love mythology. So I was like, oh yeah, it'd be so cool to add like the serpent and I'll have the coloring of Quetzalcoatl and it'll be so cool. And I kind of went a little nuts with that one. And just overall, a lot of these were really fun, but other ones I wasn't too happy with. Like the Mega Man one was pretty, I guess it's not tough, but it was awkward. I looked up a bunch of reference and I tried to go for like a traditional Mega Man look. I know there's like Mega Man X and all the new styles that he's drawn in. So I just tried to go for traditional Mega Man and I wasn't too fond of how that turned out. And I think that was like the main one that I wasn't too pleased with. I can't remember all of them, but some of them I was really happy with how they turned out. I already listed a couple, and like the Professor Layton one I also liked. And then I also got requests in so many videos. Everyone's like, do Undertale style. And I'm like, well, that's pixel art. I mean, I guess I'll give it a try because it's hard to be like, yes, this pixel art specifically is Undertale, because there's so many games that are in pixel art and you can't just call one game the end all be all pixel art game. So I basically was like, all right, if I get the same proportions and expressions as the characters in the game, then it is closest to Undertale. So I basically was like, all right, well, I really like the main character, let's go with that. So my Undertale rendition is like, if I was the main character in the game, you know, what would I look like? So it was fun, but I was kind of like, I guess that looks like Undertale, even though it's just pixel art. I think there was a whole, not argument, but like a whole big thing on one of the old videos of someone being like, well, you can't do that because it's just pixel art. But you can. I mean, there is a way to make everything look like a certain style. You just gotta pick, I guess, the right characteristics and the right look. So I was pretty happy with how it turned out because I was so afraid I wasn't gonna get it to look anything like Undertale. I'm like, it's just gonna look like pixel art. That's all it's gonna be. But yeah, overall it turned out pretty good. And man, drawing, I haven't done pixel art in forever, so I had to get like a graph and make sure it was all lined up, and I'm like, that's the only way I'm gonna make sure it's right. But here they all are, all finished. It was a lot of fun overall. It was pretty challenging for a lot of them, but overall I really liked it. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I have new art videos every week. And if you like this content, go ahead and leave a like. And if you have any other challenge ideas or any other style ideas, you can leave it in the comments below. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you guys next time.